And then the cherry on top, my colleague and 3-month presidential candidate from California, who is on the Intelligence Committee, slept with Fang Fang, a Chinese spy. Let me say that again. A member of Congress who receives classified briefings was sleeping with the enemy. This is unacceptable.
Madam Speaker, as we speak, the FBI is treating parents as terrorists. The Department of Justice is getting ready to pay people $450,000 who illegally entered our country, and Democrats in Congress later this week plan to spend $2 trillion more, which we all know will only exacerbate the already 30-year high inflation. And what are they doing today? Censoring a member for a cartoon. You got to be kidding me. You have got to be kidding me. The attack, what scares me most about all this is the attack that we have seen on the First Amendment over the last year from the left, from the Democrat Party. They're attacking moms for standing up and speaking at a school board meeting. They're stopping Americans. There are still places in this country where a full congregation cannot meet on a Sunday morning, stopping Americans from exercising their First Amendment freedom of religious rights. Stopping forever, the Speaker of the House stopped Americans from petitioning their member of Congress to redress their grievances, wouldn't even let them in their own capital. And now here we go again, censoring speech. The most fundamental liberty we have is our right to speak, our right to talk, our right to communicate, and they're going after that today because they don't like freedom. You can see it. They don't like it. This is wrong. We know it's wrong. What they're doing to our colleague, Mr. Gosar, is wrong, and I hope they will have second thoughts and we will vote this down. I yield back.
Democrat policies are so pathetic and have done so poorly that the left has nothing else to do but troll the internet looking for ways to get offended and then try to target members and strip them of their committees. This is a dumb waste of the House's time. But since the Speaker has designated the floor to discuss members' inappropriate actions, shall we? The Jihad Squad member from Minnesota has paid her husband, and not her brother husband, the other one, over $1 million in campaign funds. This member is allowed on the Foreign Affairs Committee while praising terrorists. A Democrat chairwoman incited further violence in the streets outside of a courthouse. And then the cherry on top, my colleague and 3-month presidential candidate from California, who is on the Intelligence Committee, slept with Fang Fang, a Chinese spy. Let me say that again. A member of Congress who receives classified briefings was sleeping with the enemy. This is unacceptable, and this would never be.
Time's expired. Gentleman from Florida.
Madam.
Recognized for 2 minutes.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I looked at the video enemy and was trying to figure out, I couldn't see. I'm told if you stop it frame by frame, you can see what Democrat friends are talking about. I couldn't see it. I tried to freeze frame, and I saw what I was told was supposed to be our colleague, Congresswoman Ocasio-Cortez. I was insulted for her. If that's supposed to be her, that's really unfair. But I didn't see the violence being talked about. We should not condone violence. But the reason it's so hard to sit here and listen to the condemnation from the other side, Madam Speaker, is because when there was violence against us, there was no condemnation. My wife and I went to a speech at the White House, and I've yet to hear anybody condemn the attempted violence on us. We were chased for 2 blocks. Now, Ron Paul was on TV when he was chased because he had cameras and civil and Secret Service around him. We didn't have that. And if it weren't for a guy popping up and opening a locked door, we would have, I told Kathy, look, I'm afraid they're going to get here before this door's opened. You run on down to Pennsylvania. There are cops down there. They'll be beating on me. You just get away. Nobody's condemned all that violence that I've ever heard. This is where we ought to be able to come together. Oh, and by the way, people that committed violence, did crimes in this building need to be punished. But for many of them, the most serious crime was obstructing an official session of Congress. Well, it turns out, I didn't know it was a crime in 2016, but most of the Democratic Party committed a felony right here in this chamber by obstructing an official session of Congress, not 6 hours like January 6th, but
Gentleman's time's
26
expired.
hours. Let's come
Gentleman
together
from
and
Florida.
agree on what
Gentleman
is
from Florida
really
is recognized.
violent crime.